Hello, hello, hello. Coach Denise Lascelles coming back to you guys. Picking right up from where we left off. We left off talking about introspective, perspective, and retrospective. This is your invitation to transformation for anyone who's looking to become more empowered, to live more of the life that they envision for themselves. In order to get to that point, we wanted to start off with introspective, perspective, and retrospective, making sure that we are knowing us, doing us, and being us. And if it's from an organizational standpoint, we want to make sure we know the mission of the company, that we know the vision of the company, that we are marketing and branding the company, and that we are growing the company, right? And the same thing with ourselves. We must brand ourselves. Whatever perspective we want the world to have, it is our responsibility to give it to them. And once we can only do that once we look into ourselves and know our truths. So tonight we're going to talk about truths, transparency, and understanding or knowing your whys. We're going to talk about it briefly, and again, we'll deep dive into it really quick, but we can touch on it later on the how-tos of it, the step-by-step, but just knowing your truth. So when we go to the introspective part, when we start to examine ourselves, when we start to look inward, we find some things that we think that we are made of. We find some of the traditions that we were taught as a child. We find some of the things that we have learned as adults that we found, like, hey, I can actually believe in this. This is something that sounds real good, or it sounds true. It's something I can understand. It's something that I can connect with. But do you understand the why? Why do you understand and connect with it? Why do you choose to live by this particular tradition, this particular rule, this particular this particular saying, this particular ideology, right? So, we want to look inside and find out some of our truths. For example, I'll start with something like just really from a childhood nursery rhyme, pretty much. I remember when we were kids, we had this song that says, "See this house on top of that hill? That's where me and my baby gonna live," right? So, at the age of 5 or 6, we start to have an idea that we want a big house on top of the hill. So now we're watching our parents, and we're watching the society around us. We're watching people around us, and we see that they're working hard every day. They grow up, they get married, they build families and all of this good stuff. So that helps us to build our idea of what we think our vision should be or our truth should be. And so we think that is like, hands down, no problem, I should be married, or I should have 2 kids, or I should go away to college. Whatever it is, we have to make sure and understand that this is our truth, or we understand why we have these beliefs, or why we believe that these are the things that we should do. So just going back on seeing the house on top of the hill, you meet this guy, right, or this girl, whatever it is, and you say, "Oh my God, I'm falling in love. We're dating. We're having so much fun. We're doing this. The relationship is growing. We're talking about kids and marriage and all of that good stuff. This is great." So prenuptials get in order, and we just start the planning. We just start the planning, and it's like you telling your husband or your girl, "I need this big house, right? I need this big house. I need 5 bedrooms. I need this. I need the dining room. I need this." And again, this is not to stunt your growth or anything. This is not to deter you from thinking that you want or need any of these things, but just understanding the why that you would want some of these things, right? So if I sat you down and I said, "Well, Tammy," we'll use Tammy's name for an example. "Tammy, why do you think you want a big house?" "Because I need a big kitchen." "Well, Tammy, why do you need a big kitchen?" "Because my grandma always had a big kitchen." "Well, Tammy, why did your grandma have a big kitchen?" "Because she wanted us all to sit in the kitchen and talk to each other." "Well, Tammy, why did she want y'all to talk to each other?" "She wanted us to get to know each other." "Well, Tammy, did y'all end up getting to know each other?" I don't know. So we could think like that, and we could do things based on what our grandma wanted or what our grandma did, right? And so then did the family get to know each other? Did the family grow like she wanted them to? Only to find out that the only reason why your grandma had that big kitchen is because your grandma didn't have a dining room. Okay, and so everybody had to sit in the kitchen. And as a matter of fact, they probably did everything in the kitchen back then in your grandmother days. So understanding your why. So what do you need or what do you want? So how about, would a 2-bedroom apartment be okay? Especially when you're feeling like you don't even want kids? Or would a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom home with a dining room be okay? Being as though your grandmother didn't have a kitchen, and now we can still sit at the dining room table and get to know each other and raise that family, that ideal family that ideal that was actually your grandmother's idea. You may not even want to see it with your family. Hopefully you do, but so yeah, just understanding your why, understanding why you need that big house or why you want that big house. Is that big house something that you want or need to substitute for something else that you're lacking? Do you even want the family to feel a gap of love or anything that you were lacking as a child? And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with any of it. I just want you to make sure that you know it and know where it's coming from. We're going to flip on over to if it was a business idea. So I was just talking to one of my clients just the other day, and we were talking about his business proposition, and I actually helped him walk him through it and all of that. And it's unfortunate because I guess I wasn't at the beginning stage, and I didn't ask this question at the beginning stage, but he was explaining to me how once he got this major contract, he didn't feel as fulfilled as he thought he would have. So I asked him, I said, well, Dave, why? And I'm just using that name. But I'm like, well, why did you start the business in the first place? And he went to give me his example. And his example was because he wanted to show one of his friends that he could do it. Or that he wanted to show one of his friends, well, here, I'll show you for hating on me. Or I'll show you. But it wasn't his passion. It wasn't nothing that he really wanted to do. So all he did in reality was create another job for himself. Understand? So I mean, yes, he made some money. It became a second form of income, and he's doing really well at it, and that's great. But all he did was create another job for himself, only to realize a couple of years down the road that it's not what was fulfilling for him. It was not making him happy. He was not serving the people like he thought he wanted to serve people. So now it's time for him to rethink his whole strategy. Like, do you want to do away with this and rebuild again? What do you really want to do? Or is this something that you can work out to where it becomes satisfying to you? And sometimes, we have to weigh our options. We have to see, income versus passion, which one will be the best, which one is most important to us, and is this something short-lived or long-term, So we have to know our truths. We have to understand why we're doing what we're doing. And guys, please don't let me get on the one about before you walk in my shoes, let me let you know they Gucci, right? That's because people see others doing something all the time, and they think, oh, well, she's doing this or he's doing that, and it looks like he's doing well at it, so let me try to do it. Well, let me tell you something. In my opinion, Gucci's are expensive. So to take that walk that someone else is taking, that can get very expensive. So make sure it's what you want to do. I'm not telling you not to do it again, but just make sure it's right for you, okay? Know your truth. Know why you want to do something at all times. Please just don't dive into it. I don't even care if it's working a job, okay, right? So everybody can't start businesses. Everybody can't be the CEO. If it was, it wouldn't be any employees or any workers, right? You want to be a boss, but first you want to learn how to be a good worker. So you want to get people that you can follow and all of that good stuff, right? So it's okay. It's okay to want those Gucci shoes, but know how hard it is or what it's going to take to earn those Gucci shoes, okay? So know your truth. And when you find out your truth, when you find out that you deal with shyness, when you find out that you deal with avoidance, when you find out that it's something that you just do not know, hey, guess what? Let's find that balance and show some transparency. You get so much more respect when you are transparent and people can see that you are real and that you don't know everything, that you don't think you know everything. And even if it's somebody that you think that you want to be like, right? Because I'm a big believer in that. You want to find people that you can be around that's going to help you level up, right? You want to make sure you're sitting at a table that you can get fed from some good healthy food, not McDonald's all the time, right? So we want to be around those people that's going to lift us up, that's going to help us level up. But we want to just make sure that we are in it for the right reasons. And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, Kim, I really like the way you do this. Do you mind showing me? This way we won't be looked at as a copycat. Kim would find that was a real move that Denise made or that Shannon made or what have you. And yeah, she's going to be more than happy. Most people will be more than happy to help you level up if they see that humbleness in you, if they see that transparency. if they see a way that they can connect with you, most people are willing to help pull you up or help get you to that next level. So again, we want to know our truths, we want to know our whys, and we want to be transparent about it before we start to build a vision or build a life, to build a whole organization that is not for us. You would look around and you have been working for a particular company for 12 years and you say, what have I got out of it? Yes, it has provided a good living for me and my family, but I have been miserable for the last 12, 13, 14 years, and half of your good working life is gone, or your good earning life is long gone. Now, some of us are younger than others, and we have the option and the time to start over, but time is very essential, and we just do not want to waste it. So guys, tonight, like I told you, this was going to be a brief video, but I want to make sure that you understand your truths. Know your truths, know what you're made of, be transparent about it, and know your whys. Understand your whys. And if it's a tradition that or a belief that you don't believe in, or question it if you don't have an understanding of it, it doesn't have to be given to you, or it doesn't have to be laid upon you to where it's a must for you. Make sure it is the right thing for you. And guys, make sure you are being you, that you are doing you at all times and at all costs, because I tell you, it costs a whole lot to try to be someone that you're not, okay? I can never be, it's okay. I was finna give a name out, but it's okay that I strive or I want to be like someone, but I want to be me. It's just something that's in that person that I aspire to be like, or it's something in that person that I admire, but I don't want to be them. I want to be me. So make sure we understand and we draw that line so we know our truths, that we are being transparent, and we know our whys. So I guess tonight we want to leave with, hey, it's nothing wrong with being a copycat as long as we're copying the right cat, right? So it's our time to grind, guys. It's our time to shine. Let's get it. You can and you will. I'm here to let you know that you can do all that you was put on this earth to do. But it has to start with today. We have to take action, right? We have to know our truths. We got to be true. We got to be 100. We got to be real. And we got to know the whys. Until we meet again, let's shine.